definitely beautiful. Also, you've got a little handle in there. So if in the event something happened to your motor, you can just pop this off and manually crank it. Okay. If something were to happen.
Okay.
So you got your propane tanks here, and they're both filled up, ready to go. And all you gotta do is turn them on, and you have a changeover valve here. So you can switch from one tank to the other. Leave one on, leave one off. That way, when this indicator turns red, you know this is empty, and you just switch over to the other one. Okay. And like I said, all you gotta do is turn it on. And then you've got two batteries here. They're both hooked up, ready to go. And back here, you have a battery disconnect. So if you're not going to be using the unit and you want everything turned off, some of the plugs and outlets still will be drawing power from the battery. So you just turn that off, and that will kill everything from draining your battery.
So what size battery are these, you know?
These are the deep cycle battery, the marine ones. I think they're 12 volt. But you have two of them because you have a inverter in there, a power inverter, which will change 12 volt over and run your fridge. Since you have like one of the big house inverters.
Do you know the capacity for the batteries though? Should be on there, right?
Should be.
So I can see the actual. Because I plan to maybe upgrade them later on, later down the line.
Yeah, the only thing with these is when they die, instead of like a regular battery, when you like trickle charge it, it takes more than a few hours to charge it back up. It'll take like a few days to charge them up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. And of course you've got your chains, your 7-way plug, and your breakaway cable.
Okay. And then, so, really quick, so you were saying not to go much over,
like... just don't go all the way up with this.
Yeah, kind of where it's rubbed out a little bit here.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying.
Four corners you have levelers, and in the other compartment over there is the monitor panel for it. So you have a galley tank, which is kitchen.
Okay.
And basically all you gotta do is get your sewer hose, hook it up, and just pull the lever.
Okay.
And inside you have a monitor panel, and that lets you know your levels of everything, like how much water you have in your fresh tank, how charged up is your battery, your sewer. Nice, I got black stuff all over. Yeah, how much your black tank is full and whatnot.
Galley tank.
Gray and black tank is, and that's shower water. Sink water is gray, and then black tank, of course, is going to be like toilet waste and whatnot.
Yeah.
So you would just hook up your hose, just like up there. You just hook up your hose, and then you'd pull your valves. And I always recommend pulling your black first, because like I said, that's toilet waste. And then let that empty out, close it up, and then pull your gray, because your gray will kind of help flush out your pipe for you a little bit. So, and then you let that, and then you just close it up.
So will we ever need to use these two little thingies?
Those are your low point drains. So I don't know if you plan on using your unit year-round, like in the winter and everything. So you really won't have to do anything to those. The only reason you have those is when you go to winterize your unit. You're going to want to take those caps off and kind of let the water drain out.
Gotcha.
But if you're going to be using it, you don't have to worry about it.
Okay. And then, so it says, cable satellite hookup right here.
Yep.
Okay, yeah.
And of course you got your light.
Nice. Cute little light.
It's nice you got all your access out
here.
Here,
Yeah, definitely.
Got a little outside shower.
Okay, cool.
Rinse your feet off or spray off the dogs.
Yeah. That's nice. And then this is just, I'm assuming the levers for the...
Nope. This is going to be your water hookup.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so your black tank inside has like some nozzles on the inside of your tank to kind of rinse it out, because they like to build up debris and whatnot, and that hinders the monitor panel from reading your levels. So they have this tank flush here. So that way you can hook up like a regular hose, garden hose to that, and you can flush your tank out. That way it kind of cleans it out for you.
Gotcha.
If you do use that, you want to make sure that these are pulled open. Because otherwise, too much pressure on the pipes can, rupture your pipes or potentially blow your toilet off the floor.
So what's the pump for?
That is when you go to winterize your unit. Now, if you're not going to be winterizing, you won't have to worry about that. Yeah.
So we just loosen the caps, pump it, so everything
exactly.
Gotcha.
Okay. And then it should suck antifreeze through the lines as well for you.
Okay.
And all you'd have to do is switch this valve over, and that would be winterizing it. If you have it down like this, that would be your city water inlet. So if you want water through all your pipes, and your sink and everything, you just hook up a regular garden hose to there, turn on your water, and you've got water throughout your whole unit.
So I'm curious then, what happens whenever I flip this switch over?
I think it cuts off the valve. Like
Okay.
it doesn't allow water into the unit, so it'll suck the antifreeze in. So, the weight of your trailer, it lets you know the PSI, which is 80. Your GVW.
So the dry weight is just this in itself without any of the furniture.
Right.
And then
GBWR.
the GBWR is the maximum
Yes.
load that
Right.
it can. Yay, storage.
Yes. So table, power cord, and these guys are for, I believe,
That's the barbecue thing.
Yeah.
To the outside.
Yeah.
yep, manually using the cranks if you need to put them up or down. Over here, if you do use the freshwater tank, say if you don't have hookup to city water, you could fill your freshwater tank and use the water pump inside, and that would give you water throughout your unit.
Okay.
If you don't use it, you could you drain it from right here.
Okay.
Then my other question would be, whenever we want to actually clean out the system, then so we would just same concept as like winterizing it.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Just with
Right.
sanitizer. Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah,
Easy.
yeah, definitely.
Cool. Okay.
When you get a sewer hose to hook
Yes.
up and dump, you can put it in here and store it. You just pop these off. And then
Oh.
you store it. You're gonna use the fresh tank. If you don't have hookup to city water, you just pop a hose in here, and that would fill your fresh tank for you. Adapter for propane here. If you got like an outside grill or something, you would just, it's like a quick disconnect. You'd pop it in there, and you've got this little black lever. You would just turn that, and that would feed from the front tanks and give you propane. Storage compartment here.
Okay.
Also, this is the outside for your furnace, so if you happen to use that, of course you don't want to put anything up against it or touch it,
Okay.
because it'll burn you. Okay, so let me switch to this side.
Yeah. Go.
Alright, so this is your leveling all your stabilizer jacks on the bottom. And if you use this up and down arrow, you can scroll through and see, it'll show you auto hitch height, enter, show you your battery level, or you hit manual. And that's always what I do.
Okay.
Okay, so then whenever one you want to put down, say you want to put the rear down, you just hold it for all of them. Now, when you want to put them up, you just hit retract and hold them up.
Okay.
Of course, it'll auto level for you as well, but if you're on really uneven ground, you're going to want to put maybe some blocks under whichever side you're really uneven on. Otherwise, it'll throw a fault and it won't work for you.
Okay.
There should be, if I'm not mistaken, there's a auto retract all. If you do use that, keep in mind you want to use it when you're already hooked up to your truck, because it'll retract your front jack as well.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like a little hookup for solar if you wanted to get it.
Oh, okay, cool.
All your levels of everything, as you can see, your fresh's got a little bit in it. Your black and gray, of course, have a little bit in it, so we can test the system,
Yeah.
make sure it's working right. And this is how you put your slides out. So when you put your slides out, you want to make sure nobody's standing on the carpet, just so it doesn't, mess up the rails or anything. Okay, and that's how you know it's out, when it makes that clicking noise.
Okay. Where it is?
The power inverter?
Yeah.
It should be right in that front compartment.
Okay.
It should be right next to where the button is for the jacks and everything. I think it's over
Okay.
there in a big silver box.
It
Okay.
doesn't charge it though. The batteries have a charge, but you have to recharge just like a car battery.
Right. Power inverter just changes the 12 volt
Yeah.
so it can charge
Okay.
your fridge.
Okay,
turn your
gotcha.
fridge on.
Okay.
That's
okay.
basically all that's for, is just
Okay.
to run your fridge. And then you have an awning button here. Looks like you have two of them. So all you gotta do is hit extend, and of course you wanna make sure there's not gonna be anything outside. The one thing is with these awnings, you wanna make sure you stop at a certain level, because they'll try to like roll up backwards on themselves.
Okay.
So once you see that flap come down, you wanna stop.
Okay.
Okay? And then of course if you're gonna have bad weather or anything crazy like that,
Yeah.
you wanna stop. Let's see, entry light, and then you also have a porch light, which should be that one over, or this one over here, one of the two. Right there.
Yeah, right.
How do you turn on the speakers out here?
Let me find the radio. Oh, radio's right here. We're in zone 1, so you can turn that off. Zone 2, I'm assuming is either outside or
Okay, yeah.
I think it's
It
inside.
sounds
in
like
the
a
bedroom.
bedroom,
And then you got zone 3.
yeah. Okay.
All of them at the same time, too.
Okay.
Yep, you can run all of them, or one of them, or...
So, can we connect to this in a aux in?
Yep, and I think it
okay.
is Bluetooth.
Aux in.
Bluetooth right there. You also have a remote for your fireplace.
Okay.
Fridge. Pretty basic. Of course, you saw you had the ice maker outside. And then all you gotta do is pop these off. And you can feel it's already cooling a little bit. It's got like a child lock, and you can change the temperature settings and do an energy saver and for your stove. Pretty easy. All you have to do is turn it to light, and then you would spark it. Of course, I have your propane on, but it's probably air is probably in the line. So if you have
to run it for a little
right,
while.
exactly.
Yeah.
And I always recommend running this first, just to try to push the air through the lines before you try to run your hot water heater or anything like that.
Okay.
Because otherwise, it might take your hot water heater too long to fire, and then it'll throw a fault light. And the oven, all you have to do is this: turn it the same way to pilot, and then spark it.
Oh, okay.
So this sparks all 3 top burners and your oven as well.
Cool.
Okay. Water pump. If you're going to be using the fresh tank, you would just turn your water pump on, and as you can see, we've got a little in there, and you'd be able to turn the sink on right now, and you get water out of there.
Okay.
Where is it? Okay, so hot water heater, you have gas and electric. So, like I said, I always turn on the stove first, run the propane before I use the gas on the hot water heater. And I always start the hot water heater with gas.
Okay.
Just because it heats a little bit more efficiently, quicker. And then you can just turn it to electric.
Okay.
Yep. One thing with that is just you always want to make sure there's water in there before you turn it on. Because there's no like safety switch in there that lets you know that it's empty. It'll just turn on, you can burn it out if there's no water in there.
Alright.
So yeah, you always want to make sure there's water in there. This is your converter box. So it's got all your fuses and your breakers.
Okay.
Now, if one of these happens to blow, you've got little LEDs along the side here, and they'll light up
That's
for
nice.
you. Yeah. Here you've got an LP detector. So if there was a gas leak or something, that would alert you. You've got your AC.
Okay.
And of course, the AC is going to come out of your top vents here. If you're using the furnace, it'll of course come out of the floor vents. And let me just double check before it's okay. Yeah, okay. So you have 2 different zones on the AC. And normally you can only run one at a time.
Okay.
So what you do is just, right now, this is zone 1. You'd switch it to zone 2 and then pick system, whatever you want. That system does what? Heat, cool, and then just pick what you want. I'm not going to turn it on because I don't want to pop any breakers. Of course, like I said, zone 2 would be in here, so you'd have to switch your zone over. Pretty basic in here. Not anything that you really have to know much about. I think you have storage under here, though.
Yeah. And you can get it from out there.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Down the road and you're towing, that you have that lock on there. Since it's glass, yeah, we've had several of them that weren't locked and they broke.